We're telling Super Bowl stories, so I'm not going to talk about how confident I was with my Falcons 28-3 lead over the Patriots. We want something with fun. And one that stands out to me, a recent one, certainly the Seahawks over the Broncos.
Atlanta Falcons versus New England Patriots.
2018, February 4th, the day that for us Philadelphians will always remember, we'll never forget.
In the 1991 Super Bowl between the Giants and the Bills.
What else? The Philadelphia Eagles winning Super Bowl 52.
I'd have to go betting-wise to the early 2000s. I don't know if you remember Oakland Raiders. They were throwing the ball all around. It was like the West Coast offense, just throwing it really quick passes all around.
A, it was super fun because I had Seattle. I had the safety prop. I had all of that stuff. And B, right side, over, no sweat. You get to enjoy the game with your friends, knock back a few drinks. That's as good as it gets where I come from.
New England in the third quarter, making a push. Fourth quarter fumble, 12-28. New England making a push. We running back home. We get back home, it's overtime. New England won. $500 down the drain.
I was watching that game alone. My parents had just broken up and we were about to leave the family home, the only home I'd ever lived in my whole life. And Scott Norwood was coming up to kick that field goal, and Marv Levy was holding hands with 3 or 4 other Bills players. And that field goal sailed wide right, and the Bills lost again, and the curse continued. And I got this sick joy out of watching another team lose.
I remember watching the game about 2 blocks from Broad Street and running. The life of a bigger guy. It was tough, but I got there. Broad Street, we partied all night. We'll always remember it. We finally get a Super Bowl. For Philadelphians, being an Eagle fan is more than just being a fan. It's a lifestyle. It's part of your life. It's part of your family. From when you're a kid all the way up to when you get older. And you teach your kids to be Eagles fans as well. So for us, it was the greatest. That will always be my favorite memory. And thank God I have it, because now I can talk about it. Definitely. And I know my friend Donnie will say the same thing.
One of the more exciting games I've ever watched. Why? Because my Philadelphia Eagles won, but I was also with my second family in Costa Rica at sportsbookreview.com. We did the live Super Bowl telecast from Jaco Beach. It was sensational. Had the time of my life, a time I will never forget, especially since my Philadelphia Eagles picked up the Lombardi Trophy Award. So what a surprise. Donnie Rightside favorite moment that he's ever had was with the Lombardi Trophy that the Philadelphia Eagles won in Super Bowl 52.
Well, this one time in the Super Bowl, the Eagles were playing and they weren't doing good and they really needed a touchdown and no one thought they could do it. But then they did get a touchdown and everyone started jumping up and yelling and screaming and running around. It was really funny.
I will always remember that Super Bowl. One of the worst.
So he didn't play in the Super Bowl. I ended up, it was one of my first bets ever, really. I bet Tampa Bay to win the game. They had a really good defense, and sure enough, I think they won like 48-20 or something pretty crazy.
Make memories for yourself this year with Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Maybe your team can bring home one of these bad boys.